And good morning. It's 7:03 on this Thursday, November 5th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome. It's a Thursday morning. It's a little bit warmer today, and gonna be a terrific day, no doubt about that. We are here and happy to be on the air for Bates Ford, 1673 West Main Street in Lebanon. We've got Paul Tubbs this morning. We've got Ronnie Kelly. As always, good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And Paul, of course, Deal Operations Manager. Get us started this morning. What's on your mind today?
Oh, we got some great deals going. A lot of stuff. Beautiful day yesterday. We had had a lot of traffic. Actually sold, I think, 4 vehicles when I left around 5 o'clock, and had another couple appointments going. So, we've got some great deals. We sold a beautiful F-150. Took it in. I mean, anytime we get them F-150s, 13, 14 model, with decent miles, and things just go like hotcakes. If you put it, we try to do our Facebook, and if anybody wants to see our stuff, if you can look at Bates Ford on Facebook, we try to put, specials as far as service specials. We put coupons for oil changes and different things on there, up 10% off your service or something like that on our Facebook page. And we also put our vehicles on there where we have specials, and we'll do a Bates special like once a week. And that F-150 was one of our Bates specials, and we got it, and it went like a hotcake. So that's a good thing.
That F-150 is just a popular number, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's been the best truck for 50-something years, I guess. How long, Ronnie? You tell me.
Yeah, it's 43 years. Mm-hmm. Best-selling truck.
And you love them.
Yes, sir. Like Paul was saying on our used vehicles, right now we just came out of a great month, sold a lot of vehicles, trying to replenish. And when you're trying to replenish, like that great truck that came in, there were about 2 or 3 people on it. But the first guy that had the man with the money, he sold it. And our $10,000 vehicles that went down right now, we probably got 2 or 3, and we need more trades. So we need you, if you have something you want to trade or sell us, please come down to Bates Ford.
You got to really like it when you got 2 or 3 or 4 people after the same vehicle.
Oh, that's pretty common. I'll tell you something right now that if anybody's got, and we will certainly buy it, is a diesel truck. That's like finding a needle in a haystack right now. We got a diesel truck. We took one in on Friday late, and by Saturday we had 2 or 3 customers and actually had sold it early Saturday. So if anybody's got a decent mild vehicle that's a diesel truck that they're looking to trade, right now is your time to trade a diesel truck, because just say you wanted to downsize from, say, a 350 or 250 into a 150, right now is the time, because what I truly believe is Kentucky had a hard time on the coronavirus as far as opening up. So the plant where they make them trucks is in Louisville. So the plant was shut down for an extensive amount of time. Well, the market for them diesel trucks has gone crazy because there's no new ones out there, and most people are searching. And anytime we get a used one, it's very rarely do we keep it over a day.
Oh, well, one of the things, it seems like the automotive market has been good. We hear some people talking about. I mean, we do know there's some people who have been struggling business-wise, or people who have lost their jobs, but it seems like people are still after cars and trucks.
Yes, our trucks, all the automobiles right now, ever since March 3rd or March 4th, and we couldn't get any vehicles, but the price of them has risen. If you go to the sale, they can tell you, if you want to buy that truck, it's going to cost you $35,000. Either you pay that $35,000 or you don't get the truck. and it's just used, like Paul talking about 250 trucks, 150 trucks, hard to get. Got a customer had a wreck or 2 in his truck. He needed 250, couldn't find one. Paul had to order him 2 or 3 trucks.
Wow.
150s, couldn't find anything, had to order.
We don't talk much about financing. Ford has credit, do most people finance through you that way?
Yeah, we offer, and we offer several lenders. We do Ford Credit, and my dad worked for Ford Credit he retired, actually worked 43 years for Ford Motor Credit, so I kind of lean towards them. But we have several bank options. We use probably 10 or 15 different lenders where, we can generally we have a lot of times where somebody will go, hey, I've got this rate, and we'll say, hey, if you want to come in, most of the time, 99% of the time, we'll beat the rate. So, we offer our financing we have several different options, and, not only do we use Ford Credit, but we use probably 15 different lenders where we can get you, depending on the terms and what you want. And right now, they'll stretch it as far as 84 months on some vehicles. So, a lot of it's credit driven, but we do have a lot of options.
If you're credit worthy at all, you won't have any problem.
Not at all. And one thing you were talking about, the automotive business and as far as the market, me and Tony talk about it a lot. And we had a discussion Monday about how fortunate our dealership has been through all this. I mean, we've had probably the best year we've had in several years as far as our business wise. And a lot of it, I was telling him, credits the people that we've got and the trustworthy and the honesty and everybody trying to do the right thing. But, through all this pandemic and all that, Bates Ford has been very fortunate, and Mr. Bates really appreciates the fact that not only the community supports him and he tries to give back to the community, but our business has done very well through this, and we're very fortunate for that.
Well, it's almost 10 after, but keep your seat because my guest is supposed to call in, and we're kind of waiting for a phone call here. We haven't mentioned tires, we haven't mentioned batteries, and we haven't mentioned the cheapest oil change in town.
Yeah, we've got, right now our service department's really busy. We've got a lot of things going on. We're still doing our $24.95 for up to 5-quart oil change, our batteries. Cheapest in town, I believe. Like I said, I've had several people go to a parts house and buy a $160-$70 battery. We're selling them for $130. Most 99% of the vehicles we'll put them in for free unless it's just something extremely hard. Tires right now, we'll meet or beat anybody's price on any tires, and we also, a lot of our tires have rebates, and we offer free rotation when you buy tires from Bates Ford.
Well, all of this is waiting for you right there at 1673 West Main, plus Ronnie Kelly's waiting every day, wanting to make a sale. And you had a good week?
Yeah, had a good week. And also, when we talk about financing, Ford has some great deals right now, 0% on Explorers, plus $4,500, 0% for 60 months. Expeditions, $3,500 rebate, 0% for 60 months. That's a great deal. And Coleman, if you're worried about finances, you come on down. We'll make sure that we'll let the bank make that decision.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for being with us today. We'll do it again next Thursday. Paul Tubbs, Dealer Operations Manager, Ronnie Kelly in sales for 33 years at Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. The dealer, trade for anything you don't need.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and thank you. All right, 11 minutes after the hour, I'm going to go to the phone. And I hope that Joey Carmack is there waiting to talk with us this morning. Joey, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Well, good morning and welcome to our program. Hasn't been long since we talked to you, night before last, and the election returns, but as our regular listeners should know, we try to, on the first Thursday of each month, have a member of the Lebanon City Council. There are 6 of you, and if we get each one of you at your regular time, and we don't miss out, although we do sometimes, but if it all falls into place, that means you're on at least twice a year with us to talk about your role on the Lebanon City Council. So we appreciate you calling in this morning and being with us, and I think you've got a pretty busy day ahead of you, but we'll find out what we can here between now and 7:30. So good to have you today. What is happening in your life?
Not much. Just got all the signs picked up yesterday that I had put out for the election, and looking forward to working with our newly elected mayor. Bernie was a good one to work with, and hate that he lost, but now we have Rick coming in, and we'll see what that brings. I worked with him for 2 years as well, and know him very well. He seems like he's gonna do well with it.
Well, we talked with you a little bit Tuesday night early on in our election coverage here, and I made the remark about our street, which is not one of the large streets and not in length in town. Bosswood Drive got paved, and we still appreciate that. You said you knew it was coming, and it has been a while, but looking good out there. So whatever part you had in that, I thank you. Okay.
Well, you're welcome. I drove down it yesterday picking up some signs, and I saw how smooth and nice it was, but I just didn't figure you would notice a rough road in that nice Cadillac you drive.
You got other roads going to be paved in your ward anytime soon?
Yes, sir. The next one they're working on there, it's a grant coming from the state, so that the state's going to pay some and the city pays some as well. It's Coles Ferry Pike.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure if you've been down that anytime recently, from the Senior Citizen Center to Hartman Drive, it's gotten rough. Got the shoulders are falling off, the stripes are almost gone, potholes are coming in it, but they are getting ready to start milling that down and paving it as soon as next this upcoming month, or they might have to wait till the spring. With the way the weather is right now, it seems as if they could potentially do it this month.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know people in Coles Ferry would be glad to hear that. To be honest, most of my driving on Coles Ferry is over to the Senior Citizen Center, and it's pretty good there. But the folks on the other side will appreciate that. Nothing like everybody's the most important road to everybody, I've been told, is the road that runs in front of your house, and I'm sure you find that to be true.
Yes, sir. And like we had talked on the radio on election night, I really wish they would go ahead and come in and widen it and put a turning lane in with the amount of traffic that's coming down it. And I had the city do a special traffic study on it about a year ago, and the state said the numbers just aren't there yet. So there's nothing the city can do to widen 231 North there, and I wish they would. It would help with the traffic, and like I had said the other night, when school is in full session and not during the COVID time, when everybody is back in school and all the cars are out, the parents are taking their kids to school, that road is normally backed up past the entrance to my neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
And then we're adding more, they're building more homes at the D.R. Horton development and Hartman Crossing as well.
All right, tell you what we need to do. We're already past 7:15, our break time. It is time to go to a break. Joey Carmack is here, member of the Lebanon City Council. We'll talk more in a moment here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:16. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota and Rental Exmark. Large inventory of Exmark mowers for homeowners and commercial users. #1 selling brand, bought 2-to-1 over any other commercial mower brand. 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We're still looking live at this crash here, and so is everybody else as they drive by 65 southbound. Here just south of Trinity Lane. Again, on 65 South, this is just adding to this slowdown now. The fire department just arrived a few minutes ago on this crash. 5500 Blank, Nolensville, Pike, South Nashville on an accident. They're still in Midtown, moving that two-car wreck at Dr. D.B. Todd Jr. Boulevard at Charlotte Ave. To cater your next holiday party, call Princess Hot Chicken or simply go online, princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
The 2020 Titans have all grown up together. They've had a taste of success in the playoffs, and they're back with Derrick Henry.
Henry 20, Henry 10.
Ryan Tannehill at quarterback.
Tannehill keeping around right end, driving, he's in.
A stout defense.
Titan ball.
And a head coach in Mike Vrabel who's ready to lead them.
Brought to you by Steve Lowe Plumbing and the Jewelers.
LHS, Cumberland University, and the Tennessee Titans. The winning teams are on WANT 98.9.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Here we are on a Thursday morning. Joey Carmack is on the phone today, and he represents Ward 1, right? I I get
Yes,
one
sir.
or two mixed up from time to time. But anyway, I thought we might talk just for a little. Refresh my memory here. Did you ran for this? Are you now going to be in your third term? Is that right?
Second.
Oh, you.
I ran and won in 2016.
Okay. All right. Well, people might like to know what you do for your regular job. What?
I work for Debbie Moss at the Circuit Court Clerk's Office in the Criminal Court Division. I clerk for the criminal court judge, do all the stuff that comes along with that, see a lot of different things. I'm sure you can imagine.
Well, you have. Go ahead.
Like I said, I'd work. Debbie's a good one to work for. I couldn't ask for a better boss, and I'm proud to still be there. I've been there for 14 years now.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure she's good to work for. You've been there long enough to know how to do your job and hopefully do it well. One thing I was going to mention, you have a pretty good or you associate or in the court with Judge Barry Tatum quite a lot, aren't you?
I'm not in his court. He is in the same building. He does juvenile and civil.
Okay.
And the juvenile court clerk's office is in the same office as the criminal office. So he comes in and sees us from time to time.
Well, you two do know each other pretty well.
Yes, we do.
And he does love to pick at you, doesn't he?
He does.
I think he loves to pick at a lot of people. Well, let's get back to the subject at hand here this morning. One of the things you have been doing differently since March, maybe not all the time, but it hasn't been very many times, I don't think, that you've actually gone to City Hall and sat down everybody there like you used to do when you had a city council meeting. A lot of these have been done online or virtual, or however you want to say it. Has that been a problem? It's
not been a problem per se. Sometimes the internet connections for some of the others are not as good as they should be for the Zoom meetings. When you get that many people on a Zoom call, they have worked for the time that we've had to do it. We come back for about 2 meetings, and then the mayor came down with COVID itself, and we went back to virtual, and they had a kind of an outbreak at City Hall as well. And we went back to virtual, but I would say it's not been a problem, but I would also say that I look forward to getting back in City Hall and getting things back to normal. But I mean, who knows what the normal is going to be now?
You had any concerns yourself, or have your constituents, people in your ward, expressed a lot of opinion one way or another about things we've done, about requiring masks, about social distancing, about all this? You've surely had some people to comment some about this, and I imagine quite a bit of diverse opinion. There are a lot of ideas here, and just wondered what you've heard, what you've had to deal with in that respect.
The mask mandates normally is handled by the county mayor, and Mayor Hutto has to, issue those mandates. I've had people that does not like them, and I've had people that believes in the mask mandate. I myself have to wear one at work by order of the Supreme Court if I'm out, if I'm in the courtroom, or if I'm in the lobby or anything like that. Inside of our office, we don't have to. So I've kind of adjusted to it myself. But, people really don't care to be told that they have to wear a mask, and then some people think it's disrespectful if you don't. So I try to, if I'm going around my parents or something and I don't feel good or whatnot, I will wear one. But other than that, I mean, I'm not out and about a lot right now. So,
well, I know that
really.
I know that our economy here is on everybody's mind, and the flow of goods and services, the sales tax dollars, all of this is a concern to somebody like you, especially who you're there. You have to make decisions on spending money when it's budget time, and other requests that come through, and all of this. Really, I think from what I have heard, we have not been hurt nearly as bad with the sales tax dollars and revenue coming into the city as we feared really back in say April and May. Is that the way you feel?
That is true. The numbers are actually better than they have been, and I'm sure that's because of the sales tax increase as well. But they're better than they was last year when COVID was not even around. So the city is the city's doing very well. People are still, I think they're doing, when this first hit, I know they was very concerned about sales tax numbers, but people were still buying. Of course, they're going to buy their groceries, but, the tornado hit, so obviously your Lowe's, Home Depot, Faith and Hooker, and things like that was covered up with people getting stuff to repair things from the tornadoes. But people are still out buying stuff and going to eat, and there's a lot of demand for to-go orders, I'm told. There's still a massive demand for that.
I don't think, in spite of all that's happened, that everybody started cooking at home. It has amazed me over the years to see how many people eat out. Some, it seems like almost any night you go out, you see some people that are out there that you thought, well, they would be eating at home, but they don't. And that part, I don't think has changed all that much. What has changed is the way we procure it. We pick it up a lot more rather than go in. But people are still frequenting these eating places.
They are. And like I said, I noticed Chili's used to just have 4 to-go slots, and now they have a whole side of Chili's with numbered slots that you go to get your to-go orders.
Well, that brings up something else we keep hearing people who are running for office, especially what they are hearing from their constituents, how that we want more and better restaurants, we want more eating places, we want this, and of course it has to do, we're told, with the number of rooftops or the number of people in how thickly populated an area has a lot to do with what kind and if a restaurant or something like an eating establishment is coming. I know you deal with that. At the same time, growth is something we've been dealing with for quite some time. We have different ways of addressing that, different ideas there, but it's something I guess that Joey is constantly in the back of your mind, is dealing with growth.
Yes, and with growth comes the growing pains, like I said over here on 231 North. We can't on a city level can't do anything about it to widen it. There was something that Judge Tatum had asked me on election night about restaurants and the best area to put it, and I had said Hartman Drive, and I had not thinking about it. Legends Drive is really what would be the perfect place to have something like what you call Restaurant Row in Cookville. They now that it is complete, going out there, it's just pushing up grass basically right now. And I would like to see in the future, with we have tons of growth here. I'd like to see some nice restaurants come in over there on Legends Drive.
I guess it's something to work toward.
Yes, sir.
I want to address another thing here. You mentioned earlier, of course, in a small town here, and Rick Bell having been a part of the council for a short period of time, everybody pretty much knows everybody. We know the players. What changes or what do you expect when he takes over as mayor? Maybe to be different or focusing more strongly in certain areas. Do you have any feel for that at this time?
I don't. I haven't really got a chance to talk to him. I'm sure that he is overwhelmed at the moment with getting up all of his signs and doing the transition from his current job at Cumberland to being the mayor of Lebanon. So I really do not know if he's going to change a lot of things. Bernie's done a fairly good job with what he's done. I don't know what he would really change as far as that. I know in the council he was very pro-employee, so I anticipate him to do that. Other than that, I don't know what he might do.
Well, as you think of,
I think it's positive.
Yeah, as you think of the city budget, Rick had talked about maybe some ways of cutting back, of the mayor really
being more involved in some of these, and especially I think with some of the commissioners and so on. I think really what we're talking about here is a little bit different style of management. Is that gonna make a big difference one way or the other?
I mean, cutting back, I'm not sure that would, take a whole other budget process that we'll be going into probably the start of February. Beginning of February is when we normally start into that. And I mean, he'll just have to present his budget to the council and see if that's something that we're agreeable to, and whether or not it wants to be passed or not. We'll have to see where we're at that time.
Well, we've got about a minute and a half left here this morning. We are, as some might say, we're sitting on about $20 million in reserve fund, rainy day fund, whatever you want to call it. You've expressed your opinion about that at times. There's differences of opinion as to when that ought to be touched and when it ought to be left alone. And we've got about a minute. You might address that before we let you go this morning.
Well, when you're sitting on that amount of money, I don't know why you don't tap into it some. I mean, we have a rainy day fund too. That's just the general fund. We're sitting on that much money. So, Rick may come in and adjust some things on our spending and use some of that money. But I don't see a reason for us just to sit on that much money at one time, especially when they raise taxes as well. So.
You foresee.
But another thing from election night that y'all would ask, and I know I only have probably about 30 seconds left. Y'all had talked about y'all was going to watch to see who won between me and Tick, and I got more votes than Tick Bryant.
You did.
He actually made sure to call me and tell me that he conceded that I had received more than he did.
and you have less people in your ward.
Mine is actually larger.
Oh, well. Okay, I thought we had said the opposite, but if we did, I guess we were wrong.
I think they did. Mine is the third largest.
Okay,
according to the last count that the planning director gave me.
Well, listen, thanks for being with us. We're always glad to hear from our members of the city council, and we'll catch you again in maybe 6 months. But thanks so much for being with us this morning.
All right. Thank you for having me.
All right. Joey Carmack, member of our city council representing Ward 1, and that is part 1 of Coleman and Company. We hope you'll keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And it's 7:31. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford. Low price tire guarantee on all tires every day up to 30 days after the sale. There'll be any competitor's pricing on the tires they sell. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic. Here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still trying to wrap up this earlier wreck here. It slowed it down pretty good on 65 southbound here just past Trinity Lane. One of the latest wrecks is going to be in Midtown, 200 block at 25th Avenue. Still on the scene of an accident, 5500 block at Nolensville Pike. Watching it build pretty good now out of Dixon County on 40 East passing 840. Sleep with the Sharks in a grown-up atmosphere at Ripley's Aquarium in the Smokies, December 26th and 27th. All the details at ripleysAquarium.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
71 degrees all the way.
73 degrees, please.
So what's your perfect degree of comfort? We'll help you find it with professional Rheem HVAC service that'll keep your home comfy year-round, save on energy costs, and may qualify for utility rebates and tax credits. So enjoy a new degree of comfort.
72 degrees, and I'm good to go.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
It's that time of year full of pumpkin spice and cool nights, and you know what that means. It's time for the Mill at Christmas. Vendors galore at the historic Mill at Lebanon. Friday, November 6th, Sip and Shop. Doors open at 5 p.m. and tickets available at the door. Saturday, November 7th, Family Fun Day, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Free for all to attend. Santa arrives at noon. Join us at the Mill at Christmas, November 6th and 7th at the Mill at Lebanon. Facebook, Happenings at the Mill.
Another beautiful fall day is in the forecast today. Highs this afternoon will climb into the lower 70s with plenty of sunshine. For your Friday, skies will be mostly sunny with temperatures topping out in the lower 70s. By Saturday, highs will reach the mid-70s with lots of sunshine. On Sunday, more sunny weather is on the way. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty. Professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. Let's look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist TJ Scott.
Coleman and Company, we welcome you to part 2 here on a Thursday morning. I've been watching the phone, thinking Heather Sadler's going to call in or maybe come through the door this morning, but she hasn't. And like I have said before, when she is not here and when she doesn't call in, we'll talk about her. But more important, we'll talk about the Pavilion Senior Living here in Lebanon. It is located out on Medical Center Drive. The address is 1409 Medical Center Drive, and so many times we've told you to get there. You go like you were going to the emergency room at Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. Instead of taking a left to the emergency room, you go 1 block farther. That's Medical Center Drive. Hang a left there, and you'll find them down there on the right. The Pavilion Senior Living here has been open for a couple of years, maybe 2.5, offering assisted living and memory care. And it's one of the finer communities. Heather doesn't want me to say institution, a community for people who need these services. And if you are there for assisted living, the Pavilion Senior Living, of course, is licensed by the state of Tennessee. It's staffed 24 hours a day by certified staff. You can rest assured that the residents receive the best care and support by trained staff who truly care about the residents' well-being. They do strive for the residents to maintain the highest level of independence while supporting and assisting with activities of daily living. And as far as memory care goes, the Pavilion Senior Living offers memory care for residents who are facing Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. The program is designed to be resident-focused by creating an individual plan that includes a person's life, skills, interest, and routine into a personalized plan. The program there at the Pavilion has been designed to encompass every detail, including the design of the community, specialized training for their team, programming for activities, the culinary selections, and coordination with the clinical services that are offered. They want to help the residents feel comfortable in their new home. Now, Heather is the marketing director, Heather Sadler Gallagher, and she has just about the answer to anything that you might want to know. One of the things they do, of course, is respite care. Sometimes you're in a situation where a loved one needs to go there for a few days, and they do offer that as well. There usually are a few vacancies if all of a sudden it happens that you need to locate there, get a relative there, either in the memory care or assisted living. Give them a call, 615-444-5566, or maybe even better, go to their website, www.thepavilionseniorliving.com. Phone number 615-444-5556, and just call Heather. She's got all the answers. If she doesn't have it, she'll get one for you. I guarantee you that. Heather Sadler Gallagher, Marketing Director for the Pavilion Senior Living right here in Lebanon, Tennessee. We are now 24 minutes before 8 o'clock. I want to welcome Dr. Donna Wright, who is in studio this morning. And believe it or not, good morning, first of all.
Good morning.
Yeah, you're the, other than my advertisers in the beginning, you're the first person in studio today. Good to see you.
Well, and I thought, since Heather wasn't here this morning, that I was going to get, maybe 10 extra minutes, but,
Well,
okay.
Maybe a couple.
That's okay.
Election day is come and gone. I believe school was out for Tuesday, wasn't it?
Yes, and we always, because we have so many polling sites within our schools, and just as another precaution, that's a day that we turn into what we call a stockpile day, and teachers are present as far as working in the classrooms, and kids are at home.
Well, normally you would have been here Tuesday, and what had happened was, to be honest, I wasn't sure when we were making schedules out. We had someone who wanted to pay for the time, the political commercial, if you will. So we kind of bumped you over to today. I hope you don't mind too much.
Yeah, I understood.
But you did have a meeting Monday night. I guess with all the else that's been going on, the election, local and nationally, that's kind of got put on the back burner. But if you want to, tell us a little bit about what might have happened Monday night.
Well, and it was a very brief agenda, simply because the week before we had a board retreat at the central office at the ATC building and spent the day as far as looking at planning, governance, looking at strategic planning as far as from this point forward, which is always good when you have new board members. And anytime you have, even if it's just one board member, you refer to it as the new board. And so we spent a lot of time, and really a little over 7 hours as far as meeting, but it was a very good, very productive meeting, which sort of led to a very brief agenda for our monthly meeting. Nevertheless, I mean, it was information that was we were providing as an update, things that, for example, our K through 5, we had transitioned K through 3 full-time prior to, and then after fall break, phased in grades 4 and 5, so they were in school full-time in a traditional model. So there were some updates there, COVID updates. We did an update as far as on the teacher raise that, if you'll remember, Coleman, last spring, the sales tax referendum, that was when the increase in the sales tax was designated to teacher raises.
Right.
And we had said initially, not knowing how that revenue would hold up, mid-pandemic tornado event, how that would play out. So initially we gave our teachers 70% of what was projected of the 5.2 million. And then with a promise that if the projections held true, and as we all know, the sales tax came in very, very healthy, that we would give the additional 30%, so the full raise by December, that would be retroactive to August. So that was announced Monday night too, to just make sure that teachers were aware. We had not forgotten.
Well, you must have had some happy teachers Tuesday there.
Well, we did, and it was one of that. It's surprising. Some of them had forgotten, and so particularly saying that they would see it on their December check is always nice, because that going into the Christmas season. So it was a good announcement, just as a reminder. So they're getting that full raise, and just to give you an idea, particularly in our profession, you don't see significant raises in education. You just don't. And so a level 5 teacher, which is, majority of our teachers in our district, out of 1,300 certified teachers, they're in that range as far as level 4 and 5. It's the highest, and it's something that, they go through multiple observations. There's everything from planning, professionalism, observation. So there's a lot that goes into that. And then, also student performance. But a level 5 teacher that has 20 plus years of experience, which we have a number, saw about a $6,100 raise.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a wow.
Annual?
Yes. Well, it's built in. It bumps up as far as when you look at where they're sitting at this time, that amount. As far as the thing that would be annual is their level of effectiveness raise, but that one time piece bumped their base salary.
Well, that's and one good thing about this is we are collectively here. We are doing what we said we were going to do.
Exactly.
The extra sales tax dollars going for teacher.
And we'd said this, and I've brought it up here, that particularly with our veterans that had 15 plus years experience, that they had flattened out. I mean, you didn't see any significant, if any, other raises other than what came from the state, which were few and sometimes not carried through by the state. So you're talking about a $5,000 raise, and then that level 5 was $1,100 on top of that, and that is an annual based on that performance. And again, just so proud not only of our teachers but for our teachers, because it was needed.
Well, let me ask this: as far as the Board of Education goes, you had one new one. Is who's the chairman now?
Larry Tomlinson was reelected as chair.
Well, I kind of missed that. I guess that might have been done in September, but if I heard it, I had forgotten it. Just
it was in September.
Really, I'm just trying to keep up with Larry.
I think he filled in for you too, after as far as because we were on together.
He was here one day when I was gone. Yeah, we usually get him. He does a good job, even if he is a big UT football.
Oh,
I still love it.
We were on there together for that.
Well, what
And 3 new board members. As far as when you look at John White, who came in and replaced Mike Gwaltney.
Right.
And again, he a parent of 8 children. So, I mean, he brings a perspective. Jamie Farrow replaced Chad Carl, and then Kerry Pfeiffer replaced Wayne McNeese. And so we're talking, as far as 3 new members, and then Larry Tomlinson was reelected as well.
Okay, what's really front and center on your plate right now? Is there one particular thing that you're working on?
Well, front and center, I mean, we can't ignore COVID and the impact on education. It's changed the dynamics and probably what we will even see in the future. We just closed our virtual enrollment for the next semester, second semester. This was something that was an undertaking that we had never presented and never even had time to even really map out. We have finished the first semester it'll finish in about 4.5 weeks. And we opened that with 3,800. It dropped down to 2,500 because students kept returning back into school. And it's been a success, particularly for those students that and their parents not feeling comfortable coming back into a brick and mortar setting. We opened that October the 12th, closed it on October 30th with a firm deadline because that is incumbent on staffing and making sure that we can cover. We ended it at 2,100 students that opted for virtual this second semester, about 300 less than what we had landed on this semester. The interesting thing about was how even it was from kindergarten through 12th grade. Kindergarten's our lowest enrollment in virtual, which is understandable. It's about 115. Our highest enrollment was in the 10th grade with 193, but everything ranged in the 130, 150 range per grade level, which was interesting. It was, again, decisions being made by parent and child, but we have some teachers now that have gotten into that rhythm of how to deliver virtual, and it's doing very, very well. So that's a big piece there. And then the thing that's looming as far as when are we going to bring grades 6 through 12 back in full time? And as I've shared with the board, I've shared with parents and even some of the community groups, when you look at the dynamics of moving 6 through 12, there is greater movement during the day. It's not a static cohort like we can contain with K through 5 with a classroom and know that's a group that's going to stay together.
Right.
6 through 12, you've got multiple movements during a day. And if we were to bring everyone back into a traditional after being in a hybrid where we can split numbers half and half, you're talking about, for example, 2 of the high schools, Green Hill High School and Mount Juliet High School, are also housing the 7th and 8th grades because of tornado displacement. So you'd have 2,100 students in movement in a day. And we have been very fortunate that we have not seen the large outbreak as far as COVID positives that we have seen in the lower grades where we've brought students together. And so that's one of the things that when you ask what's on the plate and we're watching that and really paying careful attention. Now, granted, grades 6 through 12, everyone wears a mask.
Yeah.
K through 5, we have not mandated because it was one that when you go back to the executive orders that you're given that allowance. But the thing is, we're monitoring every single day, looking to see where we have an outbreak, where we're seeing, clusters. But the thing that, and as I tell parents and tell every day, because the first thing comes up is, well, kids recover quickly. That's not an issue. So just put them all in school. And I have to tell them, we have adults in the building that are teaching your children, and they are impacted by this. And so if I can't keep the teachers healthy and well, we can't have school. And so that's what's driving it.
Right, and a lot of times you're thinking about your children, not thinking about those there who are instructed.
Yes.
Dr. Donna Wright is with us, Director of Schools for Wilson County. Time for us to take a break. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:47. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank Absolute Kubota and Rental Exmark. Large inventory of Exmark mowers for homeowners and commercial users. #1 selling brand, bought 2-to-1 over any other commercial mower brand. 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. They're still trying to wrap up this earlier wreck out here that caused a bit of a slowdown on 65 South just past Trinity Lane. A crash 3800 like at West End Avenue, getting some attention right now. Traffic's really increased quite a bit coming down I-40 through Mount Juliet, all that traffic flow coming out of Wilson County right now. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, call Tony and Nikisha Tate. The Tate team, they will assist you with all your real estate needs. Call today, 554-9795. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hey, this is Paul with Bates Ford, and with the holiday season coming, so is great deals at Bates Ford. We've got the Works vehicle package for the low price of $49.95 for up to 5 quarts. We've got batteries for $135 installed on most vehicles, and also on the sales ends, we've got 0 interest for 72 months and rebates for up to $10,000. So come see us at Bates Ford, the dealer that will trade for anything that don't eat.
I do a lot of thinking while I'm driving. Think about my kids, my grandkids, and my insurance business. When's the last time you thought about having your insurance program reviewed? This is John Bryan with THW Insurance. We're an independent, trusted choice insurance agency representing several top-rated insurance companies like Westfield Insurance Company. Give me a call at 615-443-3849 for a no-obligation review of your current insurance plan. THW Insurance Services, serving Lebanon and Wilson County for decades.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Our thanks to Dr. Donna Wright for coming out today. We're talking, of course, about education here in our Wilson County schools. The board meeting was held Monday night. But you'd had sort of a retreat. You got 3 new board members and reelected the current chairman of the board, Larry Tomlinson. You got all that done. You had a 7-hour get together. I guess introducing there's a lot to learn if you're a new board member. And then your meeting Monday night, you've talked a little bit about. But one of the things I want to let's say anything else you want to say about what we were talking about there about it's a little bit different with K through 6.
K through 5.
K through 5, and then 6 through 12. And the movement being the thing there, because the older students don't stay at the same place all the time.
Right. They change classes. And again, you're looking at, as far as even in middle school, you're seeing a shift in classes. And parents say, well, just keep the kids in class and let the teachers move. Well, we have students that are taking different courses at different levels. And so it's not as easy where we can contain it in the elementary schools and do so.
Well, are you basically satisfied with the product you've had with what has happened this year with all the challenges? Well, actually, last year, now this year, with changes that have been made and dealing with COVID and all of this, do you feel like the education is about as good as it could be? Y'all doing it as good as you can under the circumstances?
Let me tell you, I can get teary about this, but I won't. And I've shared this with the board. Our educators, administrators, and teachers are working harder than they've ever worked before in a brand new landscape. It's almost as if, okay, forget any type of training or background you might have, because now it's a whole different as far as how you approach it, how you deliver it, the materials, resources, going from synchronous, which is in person, to asynchronous, where students can work remotely from home. But to say all that, when we look at where our students, and again, we might be in a unique place. And it was one of those that when we knew we were going back to school, Coleman, I told our teachers and administrators, everyone's going to be in a hurry to get into brand new instruction. But we've got to remember where we've been and what many of our families, including those students that are within that family, have endured since March the 3rd. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter what we tried to deliver as far as tentatively in the spring and even over the summer. Let's take the time to revisit and know our children. And it's more than a name on a roster, but know who they are, what they've been through. Identify the things that they're really good at, their strengths, their successes, what brings a smile to their face. I didn't care if they were 5 years old or 18 years old. Let's spend some time there and then determine where we might have a gap in their learning. And so we did a series of soft assessments. When I'm saying soft assessments, let's do some pulse points to see, do we have any learning loss? Because all the experts were predicting that it was going to be significant. we made literacy gains from elementary through high school, and it significant literacy gains. We have learning gaps in mathematics, which again, that's a skill you have to practice. And and I can get kids to read more often with some joy, as opposed to let's sit down and let's work on some math. And so where we were really concerned, and we can make a difference as far as looking at that K through 8. But when you get into that upper division math in high school, algebra, geometry, pre-cal, calculus, when we ended on March the 3rd, they literally lost a half a year of instruction. So we have spent time going back and rebuilding those skills. And again, it's all about the teachers taking the time, not to rush forward, but let's see where we are right now, underscore as far as where the loss might be, and then build from there. And it's made a difference. It's made a difference. I hope it's taken some pressure off the teachers. We have advocated as a board. We have sent to the governor. We have sent to our legislators. We're not going to worry about state testing. We're going to continue to assess because that tells us where we are. But we are really loudly protesting any idea of the accountability side, the punitive measures, the negative measures that accountability can bring in, particularly when you look at student growth or achievement. This needs to be a year that needs to be exempt from that. Assess us, but don't penalize us because there's been learning loss. And the same thing with teachers that are being evaluated, which is a requirement, Coleman. Let's evaluate on planning and professionalism, but to work at observations, it's different. How am I going to observe that teacher that's working in a virtual space and that teacher that's in front of the classroom with a group of kids? Mm-hmm. Two different worlds, but we haven't changed how we would look at that in an observation. Our board has also asked for relief from the state because we need to err on the favor as far as taking care of our teachers and our administrators because the landscape is so different, but still focus on our children.
All right, I want to change the subject slightly here. Of course, we've had the tornado that did the damage to our couple of our schools there. What are we doing? Let's see, I believe it was Stoner Creek and
West Wilson Middle School.
Wilson, okay.
And that was something that we updated the board again, and we update every month. And there's been a lot of, and it's growing as far as community tension over the garbage pile, as one citizen shared with me, and that just a disgrace that we've not done anything with it, and it's still sitting there. And I had to remind them, if you look directly across the street, we still have houses with blue tarps and brick off the walls and that kind of thing. So we understand the frustration. We are frustrated. I am frustrated. But when you look at the magnitude of this project and the entities, particularly the insurance companies, the engineers, we work with NFA, that's sort of the mediator in all this because we learned lessons from what happened in Kansas and some of the other places that have endured the same thing. Dallas, Texas had lost several schools 2.5 years ago due to tornadoes. So same process. However, with all that, we feel like we're finally getting into an ending spot soon, possibly within this next week. The engineers and the insurance companies are meeting now. They've told us, do not do any demo, because we were ready to pull the bulldozers out. And I was going to put a hard hat on and drive one myself, in which I was told I was not going to. But they have told us not to do any demo because they're finalizing. And so we're hoping that we're going to see some movement within this week. And just as a reminder, part of that demolition, particularly with West Wilson being an older school, part of that process is because it has asbestos in it. When you think about the old buildings, I mean, that was just a standard. And so it takes a whole different demolition as far as removing that product and where it will go. And I explained that to some citizens in Mount Juliet that, again, be patient with us. We are as frustrated as you because our urgency, we need the buildings.
Right. What time? This is delaying things, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of time frame are we looking at?
Well, what Mickey Hall shared with the board, he more or less said that Stoner Creek being the one, again, it's a smaller footprint, but that we could, if things move as we think right now, we could be in a building there by December of 21. But West Wilson Middle School being a larger footprint, we're looking at August of 22nd. And it's unfortunate.
But the delay here again, the hoops you have to go through with the insurance companies, with the engineer, with all of this, determining the damage, and then again the asbestos has made it even.
Yes, and that's a specialized removal. I mean, it just is. It's not something we can do, and so again, I just stress that we understand the frustration. It's on my mind every single day that I get up.
All right, let me ask this: what will the finished product look like? What do you know that pretty much? What are you going to do at each one of those places?
Well, again, because we've got a pretty well as an established template that we use, and that's something that's been very significant not only in this district but how we can proceed, because that also reduces cost. And so, you look at the last elementary school that we built was Springdale. Okay, so there's Stoner Creek. We already have the plan. We already have what it would look like, and it's just as far as how you will orientate it.
Well, is it going to just about be a completely new building?
Other than as far as the Phyllis Robinson gymnasium that had some damage, but not.
Okay.
The main building will be replaced.
And what about
West Wilson Middle School? We've got the template from Gladeville Middle School. That last one, and that will be again orientated to situate. And the only thing that will be in question there is that last piece that was put in 2007. No, it's about 7 or 8 years old at West Wilson Middle School. It was not as damaged as far as the main building, and so we've already been in there cleaning and recovering it.
Yeah. All right, we're into our final minute here. Your calendar is set here. What are we doing for Thanksgiving?
And well, just as a reminder, in times past we had 2 weeks fall break. Well, we reduced it to 1 week last year and put a full week at Thanksgiving.
Okay. So all that week there will be no school.
There will be no school the full week of Thanksgiving, and our teachers need it, our students need it. I don't know if parents are ready for it, but that'll be another breather.
And your next board meeting at regular schedule time?
It's December 2nd.
All right. So I guess we'll see you on the 3rd here.
I'll be here.
Then.
I'll be here.
Well, appreciate all the information this morning. And with these are trying times, but we're doing our best.
We're doing our best. Looking at every day as a new day.
Well, thanks for being with us. Dr. Donna Wright, Director of Schools for Wilson County. And that's going to do it for Thursday. I will tell you tomorrow we're going to have Congressman John Rose on the program, so be sure to join us tomorrow for Coleman and Company. Till then, I wish you a tremendous day.